At family reunion, my niece smirked at my son and said, "Grandma says you're just the extra." The table laughed. I didn't react. That night, Dad texted, "Utility payment tomorrow?" I wrote back, "You'll see." At 8:07 a.m. their group chat turned into panic because The night of the family reunion I couldn't sleep. My phone buzzed at 11:43 p.m. Dad's name lit up the screen. "Utility payment tomorrow? That's it. No, how are you? No, thanks for coming today. Just a reminder that I'm the family ATM." I stared at that text for a solid minute, my thumb hovering over the keyboard. You want to know what I typed back? You'll see. But let me back up because you need to understand what happened earlier that day to know why those 3 words felt like lighting a match. I'm Sarah, 32 years old, single mom to the sweetest 7-year-old boy you'd ever meet. His name's Jamie and he's my whole world. We drove 4 hours to my parents' house for what Mom called a special family gathering. Which really just means my sister Monica gets to show off her perfect life while I smile and nod. The reunion was in full swing. Aunts, uncles, cousins everywhere. I was helping set up the dessert table when I heard it. My 10-year-old niece Emma, Monica's daughter, sitting at the kids' table with Jamie and the other cousins. Her voice carried across the backyard like she wanted an audience. "Grandma says you're just the extra." I froze. The serving spoon in my hand clattered against the dish. Jamie looked confused, he didn't even understand what she meant. But Emma? She smirked. And the adults nearby? They laughed. Actual laughter, like it was the funniest thing they'd heard all day. Do you think I'm overreacting? Because in that moment I felt like I couldn't breathe. My mom, was standing right there and she just smiled uncomfortably and changed the subject. Monica pretended she didn't hear anything. Dad? He was too busy manning the grill to notice his grandson had just been humiliated. I walked over calmly, knelt down next to Jamie and whispered, "Hey buddy, want to help me grab more ice from inside?" He nodded, grateful for the escape. Inside the house, away from everyone, Jamie finally asked, "Mom, what's an extra? How do you explain to your child that his own grandmother sees him as less than because he wasn't part of her perfect planned family narrative? That I got pregnant young, that his father left, and apparently that made Jamie somehow surplus?" I told him it meant extra special. He smiled. He believed me. But I was done believing in this family. Here's what you don't know yet. For the past 3 years I've been paying my parents' utility bills. Every single month. $300 to $400 like clockwork. They never asked, they demanded. "Family helps family, Sarah." That was always the line. I also paid for Emma's birthday party last year when Monica came up short. I bought the groceries for Thanksgiving. I fixed Dad's car. I was the backup, the safety net, the reliable one. The extra. So when Dad texted me that night asking about tomorrow's utility payment, something in me just snapped. I lay in bed in their guest room, the one with the broken AC that nobody bothered fixing because Sarah doesn't mind, and I made a decision. I grabbed my phone and started typing. First, I removed myself from the family group chat. Just left. No explanation. Then I sent individual texts. To Dad, "You'll see." To Mom, "We need to talk but not tonight." To Monica, "Teach your daughter some manners." The responses came flooding in within minutes. Dad. Mom, "Sarah, what's wrong?" Monica, "Excuse me." I turned off my phone. You're probably wondering what I was planning, right? What "you'll see" actually meant. Well, let me tell you, at 8:07 the next morning, their family group chat that I was no longer part of, it turned into absolute chaos. Because I'd done something they never saw coming. Want to know what happened? Imagine waking up and realizing the person you took for granted just pulled the rug out from under your entire comfortable existence. That's exactly what I did. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the morning after the reunion and why my phone had 47 missed calls before I even brushed my teeth. I woke up at 7:30 a.m. to Jamie tugging on my sleeve. "Mom, why is Grandpa knocking so loud?" The banging on the guest room door sounded like the police were raiding the place. Dad's voice boomed through, Sarah, open this door right now." I took my time, brushed my teeth, put on my jeans, let him knock. When I finally opened it, his face was purple. Mom stood behind him in her bathrobe, phone clutched in her hand like a lifeline. Monica was speed walking down the hallway, still in pajamas, looking absolutely frantic. "What did you do?" Dad practically shouted. I smiled. Calmly. "Good morning to you too. The utilities. The power company just sent a disconnect notice. They're shutting everything off today because..." He stopped, staring at me like he was finally seeing me for the first time. "You didn't pay it." "Correct," I said. Mom's voice cracked. "Sarah, this isn't funny. We have guests. Your aunt and uncle are still here. We can't have the power shut off." Do you think I felt guilty? Bez, I didn't. Not even a little bit. You should have thought about that before letting your granddaughter call my son the extra, and laughing about it, I said evenly. Monica jumped in. Oh my God, Sarah, are you seriously going to punish the entire family because Emma made one little comment? She's 10. One little comment? I turned to her. Monica, your daughter publicly humiliated Jamie and not one of you said a word. Not one apology. You laughed. The hallway went quiet. Dad's jaw clenched. Fine. You're upset. I get it. But you still need to. Need to what? I interrupted. Keep paying for everything while you treat me and my son like we're charity cases? Like we're less important than your real family. Mom actually gasped. We never said that. You didn't have to say it, Mom. You've shown it every single day for 7 years. I walked past them, took Jamie's hand and headed downstairs. They followed me like a parade of panic. In the kitchen, my Aunt Carol and Uncle Pete were sitting at the table, clearly having heard everything. The awkwardness was delicious. I poured Jamie a glass of orange juice while my phone, which I'd finally turned back on, started absolutely exploding with notifications. The family group chat I'd left? Apparently they'd created a new one and added me back just to have a meltdown in real time. Monica, Dad, the power bill is your responsibility. Why was Sarah even paying it? Dad, she offered to help. Mom, can everyone please calm down? Sarah's just having a moment. My cousin Derek. Wait, Sarah pays their utilities? Since when? Aunt Linda, I'm confused. What's happening? Uncle Pete in the kitchen watching me. I think Sarah's making a point. He was right. I was. But here's the thing nobody knew yet. The utilities were just the beginning. See, over the past 3 years I kept spreadsheets. Every payment, every favor, every time I was voluntold to cover something because family helps family. The total? $34,789. $34,789. I'd paid off Mom's credit card debt when she got in a little trouble with shopping. I'd covered Dad's medical copays. I'd given Monica loans she never paid back for Emma's dance classes, her new laptop, even their family vacation to Disney. And I had receipts. All of them. At 8:07 a.m. while they were still scrambling about the power bill, I sent one message to the new group chat. Since we're discussing finances, I've attached a detailed breakdown of every dollar I've contributed to this family over the past 3 years. The utility bill is $340. I'm sure between all of you can manage. I'll wait for my reimbursement. Take your time. I'm only charging 3% interest annually. Very generous, I think. Then I attached the spreadsheet. You should have seen their faces when the notifications hit their phones. Monica went white. Dad's hands actually shook as he opened the file. Mom sat down heavily in a kitchen chair. The group chat went silent for exactly 90 seconds. Then it erupted. Monica, what is this? Dad, Sarah, this is absurd. Family doesn't charge family. Aunt Linda, $12,000 for Monica's emergencies? Monica? Derek, damn Sarah. You've been funding the whole family. Uncle Pete out loud in the kitchen, good for you, kid. I took a sip of my coffee. Jamie was eating cereal, oblivious to the chaos around him, and honestly, that's all that mattered to me. Mom's voice was small. Sarah, we didn't realize that I've been keeping track? I asked. Or that I'd eventually get tired of being used. We're not using you. Monica snapped, but her voice wavered. Really? Then why haven't you paid me back for Emma's birthday party? Or the $3,000 loan for your new furniture? Or the... Enough. Dad slammed his hand on the table. Jamie jumped and I immediately put my arm around him. Don't yell in front of my son, I said coldly. You've already let him be humiliated once. That's enough. The room went dead silent again. Do you think I was being too harsh? Because right then, seeing their shocked faces, I felt powerful for the first time in years. Mom started crying. Actual tears. We're sorry about what Emma said. We should have said something. You're right. Too little too late, Mom. Monica's phone rang. Probably the power company calling her too. She stepped outside to take it and I could hear her panicked voice through the window. Dad looked at me like I was a stranger. What do you want, Sarah? You want us to grovel? I want respect, I said simply. For me and for Jamie. I want acknowledgement that we're not second-class members of this family. And honestly, I want you all to figure out your own problems for once. So that's it, he asked. You're just cutting us off? I smiled. You'll see. Because what they didn't know, what I hadn't told them yet, was what I'd done at 6 a.m. that morning before any of them woke up. I'd made 3 phone calls that were about to change everything. And when they found out, Oh, the family group chat was going to absolutely lose its mind. But that comes next. First, I had to get through Monica's breakdown when the power company told her the reconnection fee, and Dad's face when he realized I'd also canceled. Well, you'll find out soon enough. Let me just say, never underestimate the quiet ones who've been keeping score. Monica came back inside, her face pale. The reconnection fee is $450. Plus the overdue balance. They want $790 by noon or the power stays off for 5 business days. Dad turned to me expectantly. I took another sip of coffee. Sounds like a problem. Sarah. I have my own bills to pay, Dad. You know what felt incredible? Watching them scramble. Watching the panic set in as they realized their safety net was gone. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember those 3 phone calls I made at 6 a.m.? Call number 1. My parents' internet provider. The account was in my name because their credit wasn't good enough. I'd been paying $89 a month. Cancelled, effective immediately. Call number 2, the lawn care company. Also in my name. $120 monthly. Cancelled. Call number 3, the country club membership that Monica used constantly, the one she'd begged me to add her to as an authorized user. I called and had her removed. By 9 a.m. the dominoes started falling. Dad's laptop couldn't connect to Wi-Fi. Mom's garden party was this weekend. She'd invited half her book club and the lawn service had just been cancelled. And Monica got a call from the country club at 9:30 a.m. Her guest privileges were revoked and she needed to settle her bar tab, $340, before leaving yesterday. She'd left without paying, assuming it would go on our account. The family group chat exploded. Monica, Sarah cancelled my club membership. Derek, wait, she was paying for that too? Dad, Sarah, this is childish. I typed back. What's childish is a grown man who can't pay his own utility bills. What's childish is treating your daughter like an ATM and your grandson like he doesn't matter. Uncle Pete, still in the kitchen, actually laughed. She's got you there, Bill. Mom sat down next to me, voice soft. Honey, we made mistakes. But this isn't like you. You're right, I said. The old Sarah would have just swallowed it. Would have kept paying, kept smiling, kept pretending it didn't hurt. Jamie looked up from his cereal. Mom, can we go home soon? Soon, baby. Monica stormed in. The club wants $340 right now or they're banning me. Sarah, you have to fix this. I stood up. I don't have to do anything, Monica. You know what I have to do. Protect my son from people who think it's okay to mock him. This is insane. Over one comment from a child. It wasn't one comment. I raised my voice for the first time. It was years of being treated like I'm less than you. Years of watching you get help while I struggled alone. Years of being the backup plan. The kitchen went silent. I softened my voice. Emma didn't come up with the extra on her own. He heard it somewhere. Kids repeat what adults say. Mom's face went pale. Sarah, I never. Didn't you? I asked quietly. How many times did you talk about my bad choices? How many times did you call Monica the successful one? Do you think I was being unfair? Because the look on Mom's face told me I'd hit the truth. Dad tried to regain control. Fine. You've made your point. Can we act like adults and figure this out? Sure, I said. You pay your own bills. You apologize to Jamie, a real apology. And Monica teaches Emma that cruelty has consequences. That's it. Dad asked suspiciously. Oh no. There's more. I pulled out my phone and showed them my banking app. The Family Emergency Fund I started 3 years ago? I'm the account holder. It's my account. You all just thought it was shared. There was $8,300 in that account. Money I'd saved. I'm taking $5,000 as partial repayment. Monica looked like she might faint. You can't just take. It's my money, Monica. Aunt Linda, watching from the doorway, actually slow clapped. I grabbed Jamie's hand. We're leaving. Don't call me unless it's to apologize. Don't text asking for money. Sarah, please. Mom reached for me. I stepped back. I love you, Mom. But I'm done being the family doormat. When you're ready to treat Jamie and me like we matter, you know where to find us. As I walked to the door, Monica's voice cracked. So you're just going to abandon us? I turned back. Monica, this family's been leaving me to deal with my messes alone for 7 years. Consider this a taste of your own medicine. As I loaded our bags, Jamie asked, Are we in trouble, Mom? No, baby. We're finally free. My phone buzzed constantly as we drove away. But one message made me pause, from my grandmother, Dad's mom, who'd been quiet this whole time. Come see me before you drive home. Sunset Diner on Highway 9. Just you and Jamie. We need to talk. Grandma Betty was the one person who'd always been kind to us. She'd had a stroke 2 years ago and didn't come to big gatherings anymore. What did she want to tell me? Because Grandma Betty doesn't just talk. When she summons you, it means she knows something. And what I learned over pancakes and coffee. It made the revenge I'd already taken look like child's play. The Sunset Diner smelled like coffee and bacon. Grandma Betty was already in a corner booth when we walked in. "There's my girl," she said, reaching for Jamie first. "And my favorite great-grandson." Jamie hugged her, then she pointed to the seat. "Sit. I already ordered you both pancakes." I slid into the booth, suddenly exhausted. "Grandma, if you're here to tell me I overreacted." "Overreacted?" She laughed. "Honey, you underreacted for 7 years. I'm just sorry it took this long." That surprised me. I heard what Emma said to Jamie. "Linda called me last night furious." Grandma Betty's expression hardened. "She's been watching this family treat you like garbage for years." The waitress brought pancakes. Jamie dug in while Grandma studied me. "There's something you need to know, Sarah. Something I should have told you long ago." She pulled out her phone and showed me a bank statement. "When you were pregnant, I gave your parents $25,000. I told them it was for you. For Jamie. To help you get on your feet." My stomach dropped. "What? $25,000? I liquidated a CD I'd been saving. I made them promise they'd give it to you." The diner suddenly felt too small. "They never gave me anything." "I know." Her voice was bitter. "About a year later, when you were still struggling working 2 jobs, I asked your father about it. He said they'd invested it in your future, by paying off their mortgage early. Do you think you can imagine how I felt? I couldn't breathe. They took money meant for their grandson and paid off their house?" Grandma Betty nodded. "I was so angry I didn't speak to your father for 6 months. But by then, what could I do? I started sending you checks directly after that. I remembered those checks. $200, $500 sometimes. They'd been lifelines." "There's more," she said quietly. "The family emergency fund you mentioned? Your father's been telling everyone you contribute $200 a month. He's been taking credit for the other $300 you actually put in." "What?" "He tells the family he matches your contributions. Makes himself look generous." He showed me the group chat. A message from last year. Dad bragging about maintaining the family safety net with equal contributions from Sarah and myself. I'd put in every penny. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because this morning when you finally stood up for yourself, I realized something." She took my hand. "You're stronger than all of them. And they've been using that strength to prop themselves up. What should I do?" Grandma Betty smiled, and it wasn't kind. "Whatever you want, honey. But if you want my advice, don't let them off easy." My phone buzzed. "Monica, Dad just told me Sarah's having a breakdown. Should we do an intervention?" "Dad, let's give her space. She'll come around when she needs help." I showed Grandma Betty. She snorted. "They still think you'll come crawling back." "I won't." "I know. Which is why I'm going to help you." She pulled out a folder from her purse. "I've been keeping records too. Every gift I gave them to pass along to you. Every time they borrowed money using you and Jamie as the excuse. Every lie." The folder was thick. "Grandma. I'm 81 years old, Sarah. I've got nothing to lose and a great-grandson to protect." She slid it across. "Use it or don't. But you're not alone." I opened it. Letters, bank statements, emails. Years of documentation. One email from Dad to Grandma Betty 3 years ago. "Mom, Sarah's really struggling with Jamie's medical bills. Anything you could spare would help." Jamie hadn't had medical bills that year. Another letter from Mom. "Sarah needs help with her car payment. She's too proud to ask." I'd already paid off my car. They'd been scamming their own mother, using me as the excuse. "How much did they take from you?" I asked quietly. "About $60,000 over 7 years. All supposedly for you." I felt sick. "Don't feel guilty." Grandma Betty squeezed my hand. "This isn't your fault. But now you know the truth." Jamie asked if he could play the jukebox. I gave him quarters and he ran off. "What would you do?" I asked. She was quiet. "I'd make them face it. All of it. Every receipt, every lie, every stolen dollar. Make them look at what they've done. They'll hate me. They might. Or they might finally become the family you deserve." She paused. "Either way, you and Jamie will be fine. You've been fine without their help all along. Do you think I should have just walked away?" Because sitting there holding evidence of years of lies, I had a choice. I could take the high road or I could burn it down. I chose fire. "Grandma," I said slowly, "how would you feel about coming to dinner at Mom and Dad's house this weekend?" He grinned. "I thought you'd never ask." Because Grandma Betty had been waiting years to have a conversation with her son about his lies. But first I had to set the stage. One more call, to Aunt Linda, who'd apparently been Team Sarah all along. The group chat wasn't ready for what was coming. And neither was my family. By Wednesday, the family group chat had gone from panic to bargaining. Mom, Sarah, please. Can we just talk about this like adults? Monica, I paid the power bill. Happy now. Dad, your grandmother wants to have a family dinner Saturday. I think we should all be there. I didn't respond to any of them. But I did respond to Grandma Betty. I'll be there. Aunt Linda called me that afternoon. Sarah, your grandmother filled me in. I'm coming to this dinner and I'm bringing the popcorn. You don't have to. Oh, honey, I've been waiting for this moment for years. Your mom and I have never gotten along and now I finally know why. She's been jealous of you this whole time. Jealous of me? You're stronger than she ever was. You raised Jamie alone, worked your way up, never complained. Monica's her do-over daughter, the one who did everything right. Married well, had kids at the right time. But you. Linda laughed. You're the one who actually survived. That hit different. Saturday came. I dressed Jamie in his nice clothes and told him we were going to see Grandma Betty and the family. Are they still mad at us? He asked. Probably. But we're not doing anything wrong, okay? Remember that. When we arrived, the house was tense. Mom had cooked a full dinner, pot roast, mashed potatoes, the works. Dad was at the head of the table looking uncomfortable. Monica sat next to Emma, who wouldn't make eye contact with me. Grandma Betty arrived right after us and Aunt Linda pulled up with Uncle Pete. Well, Dad said, forcing a smile. Nice to have everyone together. We sat down. The silence was thick. Mom tried first. Sarah, we want you to know we've been thinking about what you said. Before anyone says anything, Grandma Betty interrupted, her voice clear and strong, I have something to share. She pulled out her folder and placed it in the center of the table. Dad's face went white. Mom, what is that? Evidence, Bill. Of every single lie you and Patricia have told me over the past 7 years. She opened it. Like this email where you told me Sarah needed $3,000 for Jamie's medical emergency. Want to tell everyone what you actually spent that money on? The table went silent. Or this one, she continued, pulling out another page, where Patricia said Sarah was about to be evicted and needed $5,000 immediately. Sarah, were you about to be evicted in March 2022? No, I said quietly. I just signed a 2-year lease. Mom's face crumbled. We were going to give it to you eventually. Eventually. Grandma Betty's voice could have cut glass. You took $60,000 from me using your daughter's name and gave her nothing? Monica looked shocked. $60,000? And that's just from me, Grandma Betty said. Should we talk about the $25,000 I gave you when Sarah was pregnant? The money specifically meant to help her and Jamie. Dad stood up. Mom, this is private family business. Sit down, Bill. Grandma Betty's tone made him sit. You lost the right to privacy when you stole from your own child. Do you think they looked ashamed? Because they did. Aunt Linda leaned back in her chair. I have a question. Patricia, how does it feel knowing your mother has more integrity than you do? Linda, stay out of this, Mom started. No, I said, standing up. Let her talk. Because Aunt Linda's been honest with me while you've been lying for years. I pulled out my own folder, the spreadsheet, the receipts, everything. You want to know what else is interesting? I did the math. The $34,789 I've given you over 3 years, plus the $25,000 Grandma gave you for me, plus the $60,000 you stole from Grandma using my name? That's $119,789. The number hung in the air. $819,000 that should have gone to me and Jamie. Money that could have paid for his college fund, for a better apartment, for... My voice broke. For some dignity. Emma suddenly spoke up, her voice small. Grandma, did you really say Jamie was the extra? Everyone looked at Mom. She couldn't speak. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't know I was being mean. I thought it was just a thing people said. Jamie, sweet Jamie, just nodded. It's okay. It's not okay, Monica said sharply, looking at her daughter. Emma, you hurt someone. Saying sorry isn't enough. She turned to me and for the first time she looked genuinely remorseful. Sarah, I've been a terrible sister. I let Mom and Dad spoil me while you struggled and I never questioned why. I just took it. Dad finally spoke, his voice rough. I don't know how to fix this. You can't, I said simply. Not immediately. You can start by being honest. With yourselves, with me, with Jamie. Grandma Betty pulled out one more paper. I've already contacted my lawyer. I'm adding a codicil to my will. Sarah and Jamie are getting everything. Every penny. And it's in writing so you can't touch it. Mom started crying. Real tears this time, not manipulative ones. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I was jealous. Linda was right. You were always so strong and I wanted Monica to be the success story because I wasn't one myself. I wanted to live through her. And you made me pay for it, I said. You made Jamie pay for it. I know. Mom looked at Jamie. Sweetheart, you're not extra. You're not anything but wanted and loved. I was wrong. So wrong. Jamie looked at me. I nodded. Oi, Grandma, he said. Over the next hour things slowly shifted. Monica set up a payment plan to pay me back. Dad agreed to therapy, actual family therapy. Mom wrote a check for $10,000 on the spot, shaking as she did it. It's not enough, she said. But it's what I have in savings right now. Emma asked if she could write Jamie an apology letter. He said yes. By the end of the night things weren't fixed. Not really. But they were different. As we left, Grandma Betty hugged me tight. Proud of you, girl. Thank you, I whispered. For everything. In the car, Jamie asked, Mom, do you think they'll really change? I don't know, baby. But we'll be okay either way. And we were. So that's my story. It's messy and it's not a fairy tale ending, but it's real. My family's working on being better. Some days are harder than others. But I'm not the doormat anymore and Jamie knows he matters. If you've been the reliable one in your family, the one everyone takes for granted, I see you. You deserve better. And it's okay to demand it. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button. If something resonated with you or if you think I handled things wrong, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on it. And remember, family is supposed to lift you up, not drain you dry. Take care of yourselves out there.